I
There was a
felt
lot of good
more.
points. There's so many
Yeah,
good
I
points. Howdy, gamers, geeks, and goblins. Welcome to the Fantasy Fight Club podcast. Today I'm joined by Jakeem, Cryptic, and Goblin. I'm your host, Kenny. Today's topic is going to be about Venom versus Hulk. This was one of my topics that I came up with, and so my first
Julie the
question.
combo this time.
Yes. My first question for everybody is obviously what side you guys on? I honestly can't even really pick one right now.
Let's see. It depends on what's allowed. Like, can just the symbiote just try to possess just the Hulk to just
Well,
hang
to
on,
play
hang on.
dirty?
I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves, Cryptic. Pick a side first, and then we can decide the parameters after.
Okay. Uh, Fuck it. Hulk smash.
all right. So Cryptic's going
I
for
am
Hulk.
also Hulk.
Jakeem's Hulk. What do you think, Goblin? Hulk or Venom?
Venom.
Venom.
I fucking knew it.
I believe Venom would have a little bit more of an edge as well. Mostly because he could technically just swap between hosts. Like,
Oh,
he is just a symbiote that controls a host.
Discussing the parameters is important first.
Well, let's just say that.
Although we've seen that if Venom isn't compatible with said host, the host dies before Venom can assume full control, or as they call it, symbiosis. So swapping hosts is
Not
gonna
ideal.
be it's a double-edged sword. It's gonna be a double-edged sword because either your host is gonna be able to withstand you and you can control them however you feel, or they're gonna reject you and you're gonna be vulnerable.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, for this one, let's
Honestly,
just.
I definitely think neither Bruce Banner nor just the Hulk would feel fine adding an extra player to their game of control.
Well, I think for conversation's sake, we should just say it is Eddie as Venom and Bruce Banner as Hulk, obviously. So they both do have a human form, and they both have their mutant form.
Fair.
Yes, they're big Goombas forms.
So
I still say Hulk because his not only did he get his powers from gamma radiation, his body is sort of like cloaked in gamma radiation, which straight up protects him from a lot of dangers. And as we've seen before, he's basically unkillable. My proof of this is when in the Avengers when he straight up said, you kill me? I know, I've tried. And he told his story. He got low, he didn't see it out, he put a bullet in his head and the other guy spit it out.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. There's also the fact that also just if we're you wanna know something terrifying?
What?
There's a version where where Bruce Banner just hijacks the Hulk and controls him like a puppet. Like, you seen that comic? Like, have you seen that one?
Isn't that kind of in the Avengers movie as well, Endgame or whatever, where the Hulk becomes super smart?
No, what I mean is that just Bruce Banner just builds a machine to just hijack the Hulk's body, so he can stay in control, and just make the Hulk do whatever he wants. It's like some supervillain shit.
I actually haven't seen that comic. I have to go look it up.
Yeah, and after just
But I definitely will.
Oh yeah, just another thing just I oughta mention just for the sake of just how terrifying the Hulk is. After that whole debacle, just the Hulk made just Bruce's transformations into the Hulk extremely painful, like tear off your flesh type of painful.
Yeah, for a lot of time, like it's like, and let's be honest, it's not even just in the Avengers. In every issue we've seen the Hulk, him and Bruce are two different entities, and a lot of the times they're fighting for control. And
Which
it's not until Infinity, the end, more specifically the end of Infinity War slash the beginning of Endgame, where we see that they decide to work together and we get Professor Hulk and the Avengers, Marvel themselves, the films more specifically, have done an abysmal job of showing just how formidable Professor Hulk is, because he's still just as strong as regular Hulk, but he has the smarts of Bruce Banner. But because he has said smarts, he is more reserved with his smashing.
Right. And the comic book version is completely different than the movie versions in all aspects, right?
Yes.
In both
extremely so.
versions, in both Venom and
It's
Hulk.
ironic because both the Hulk and Bruce just want to be left the hell alone.
Although I will say that in every iteration we've seen power where the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
The
So
more
if it
more damage he
No.
takes, the angrier he gets, the stronger
yeah.
he gets, the bigger he gets. That's
So
true.
even if it becomes a battle of attrition, Hulk will still win because his power is just constantly climbing. While obviously Venom, Eddie, they're on limited stamina. They can get tired. They can be weak.
And they have actual
That
weaknesses.
Yeah,
to a point, yes. So Venom is able to deflect damage to a point, as in when he gets shot, the Venom symbiote absorbs the bullet and just spits it out at a different part of his body.
and spits it out. Yeah,
Kind of the same thing as Hulk. There's a scene in the very first Incredible Hulk, I believe, where they military pumps Hulk full of lead and then he just like absorbs them and then spits them out.
yeah.
So I mean,
My
they both do the same thing.
another topic I want to touch on is what Cryptid said earlier. We have yet to find an actual weakness of the Hulk. Yeah, you can try to make him laugh or in some way so that he gets
I
happy
rem-
enough to turn back into Banner.
I
But
remember that time where Hawkeye threatened his ass and just to kill him. He
yep,
laughed so hard
yep.
as he
And he
transformed.
laughed so hard Banner came back out. Or in was it in Thor Ragnarok when he saw Natasha on the monitor, he immediately became infatuated and it gave Banner the opportunity to take back over. And while he was fighting the reversion, Banner was still able to retake control. But the point I'm saying is if you don't know of that weakness, it's gonna be impossible to beat him.
So here,
I mean, they live
Whereas,
in the same universe, so just I
yeah,
feel just they both have just the necessary just knowledge going in.
let's say that they do. What is stopping? What can Venom really do to stop Hulk from just constantly thunderclapping
so
to
there,
generate that sound force to force him back, to force him out of Eddie, basically? Because we've seen when in the fight between him and Carnage, we've seen when he won by sound. No, he does not completely let go of Eddie. He retreats basically back inside of him for a brief moment. That is that doing doing that enough will allow Hulk to capitalize on the fact that
On a punch to
Eddie is
Brock.
yeah, Eddie is just Eddie. I can beat
so
his mortal body up.
so the
Beat
Hulk
his ass!
has
Beat his ass!
the Hulk has about three different weaknesses, or a couple different weaknesses. Obviously, just calming him down. That's obviously one of his weaknesses. Just
Mhm.
calming him down, getting the rage out of him, and turning him back to Bruce Banner. The other ones would be too much gamma radiation. The Hulk's strength comes from gamma radiation, but too much can be harmful. For example, in one storyline, Professor Hulk encounters a future version of himself, the Maestro, who is stronger than him. Professor Hulk tricks the Maestro into traveling back in time to the moment the bomb that created the Hulk went off. The result was too much gamma radiation, which caused the Maestro's death. And then the second,
That is
And
true. I remember.
and then
well,
the other
here's the point to
weakness,
the gamma weak. Oh, sorry.
the other weakness is
Go for it.
the power cosmic is the power that allows the user to absorb and channel cosmic energy. So like the Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Silver Surfer is
Yeah,
basically
he
the
can
Hulk's arch
absorb the.
enemy.
Yeah,
Here's the problem with the gamma weakness, though. That can also just like affect just Venom, practically just doing damage to Venom as well.
Right. But let's just say
is
that
what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Both weaknesses you mentioned, I don't think there's any way for Venom themselves to directly
figure it out.
exploit it. There's no
Let's
way
see,
for
Venom.
even if they figure it out, there is no
Actually,
because
for
where are
the
they gonna
calming him
find
down,
gamma
it is
radiation?
because just the symbiote species are just meant to just create the best version of their host. Just so basically just if just the symbiote would just get onto just the Hulk and or Bruce, it could just create just a balanced version of themselves as a non-threat.
True, but is Venom gonna be able to handle gamma?
Let's see, the symbiote
Because we've seen
very
that
highly
in
likely.
the universe. We've seen that in the universe that Hulk is the only one able to handle that much gamma energy.
True. Isn't there?
Let's see, if we're going comic iterations, the symbiote can handle it.
Isn't
And
isn't
comic book Hulk is a whole lot stronger than
movies?
film Hulk. So
So it's just
Isn't there a time in I think it was a comic book maybe where Hulk saved somebody by because they were trying to recreate him or
I
something,
have.
and he
Oh yeah,
destroyed
and
the
he absorbed
machine
the.
and absorbed all the radiation or whatever.
absorb the radiation. Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what happened.
I feel like we kind of just suck a little bit at picking these matchups because this is starting to feel one-sided again.
No, I
Quite.
don't. I
I mean,
don't
this
think
is
so. I don't think so because we've just been mostly talking about Hulk's benefits, right? So let's switch over to Venom's. He's got the ability to
Uh,
scale buildings and actually cling to them. Hulk basically, I mean, he can do that, but like he has to break through and hold on.
Honestly,
Venom can
you wanna know
actually
what I
attack
want?
from a range. Like he can the symbiote web or whatever that he uses.
I will say he does have a lot more
He's got a lot of more
freedom with
mobility too.
mobility than
Yeah,
Hulk does.
yeah.
He has a lot more
Yeah,
freedom with mobility than Hulk does.
we honestly we gotta do an April Fool's just episode with some dumb shit like Hatsune Miku versus like another anime
Let's
character.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
On today's April
I know,
Fool's
just being a
episode,
prankster.
is a hot dog a sandwich?
On today's April Fool's Day, it's your dad. He weapons the milk that he never came back with because he was.
Seriously, Kenny, you're supposed to be the one reining me and Cryptic, and you know we're the ADHD ones. You're supposed to be reining us in.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
ADHD nothing him out.
So
Got him.
let's say, okay, let's put a scenario to this thing, just like we did with the last episode. So I don't want to say they meet in New York because that's gonna be just like that last episode. They, I don't know.
For New York, man.
You realize every time
It's always New York. New York's always the
yeah,
one that gets destroyed.
it's always
So-
New York.
So let's say, actually, they're both in New York, pretty much. All right, so
Yeah, they're both
Let's-
stationed in New York, except the Hulk is
let's
on
let's
the
put the
move.
scenario this way: the Hulk and the Avengers just finished taking out all the alien invasion and whatnot from the fucking one movie. I can't remember
The
which one.
Chitauri.
Yeah.
The Chitauri.
Yeah. Let's just say they just finished that battle, okay? And Hulk is going around and more or less helping with cleanup because, you know, he's strong and shit and can move stuff around. He
We've seen that even in the Hulk form, because when sorry for cutting you off. You notice that when in Endgame when Tony traveled back in time, we saw that Hulk was can't even say semi-competent. He was competent and literate, where they were telling him to take the stairs, and he's like, "Take the stairs. I hate the stairs."
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw him
That's
for
hilarious.
Yeah.
we saw him formulating speech, forming sentences, and understanding what everyone
Right.
else was telling him. And keep in mind, he was pretty much in a calm state there, aside from when he can punch the elevator door. We know he was in a calm state. It was the descending of the stairs that freaking pissed him off.
Right.
So
So let's
even if he's calmed down, I guess he can resist Banner.
say this.
I mean,
The Hulk is going through the
I mean, there's
city.
basic.
The Hulk's going through the
I mean,
city and
anger can be
helping
calm.
clean up. He moves a pile of rubble and finds Eddie. Okay, he's
Eddie
unconscious.
panics and Venom comes out.
Okay, yeah. Eddie panics because there's a big green dude in front of him. Venom comes out, surprises both of them, and a fight happens. That's just how it happens. It just starts. So
Venom
obviously
definitely gets
Venom.
the first
Yeah,
hit
I
off
say
here because
obviously
he
Venom.
pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, obviously Venom gets the first hit off, surprises Hulk, and he just enrages. let's, let, I can see it now.
But see,
Hulk moves a
but
giant
see,
rock,
also,
puts it off to the side, looks down,
before we
sees this human. Eddie looks up, freaks out. Venom pops up out of nowhere, punches Hulk in the face. Hulk looks down at him, grabs Venom by the face, and just throws him back behind him into a building.
Yep,
honestly,
and
want to know something interesting to this aspect of this fight? Just both just Hulk and Venom would be just communicating just actively with their respective just other selves throughout this fight, so they can like strategize like mid fight.
True.
You've seen that you've seen just like where just
Banner can take over Hulk's subconscious, right? To a point.
yeah, but they can also
not like take it
communicate through.
over,
No,
more
yeah, not
like
like take it over, but like
communicate through.
yeah, but like give him ideas and stuff.
Yeah, he can communicate. Yeah, Banner can basically communicate with Hulk. Just in Avengers, there's Mightiest Heroes. Just I can't believe they fucking got rid of that. Banner made a deal with just Hulk that just Hulk has to stay a Hulk if he just help just helps out, does more with his hulkiness.
Yeah,
Basically,
if he
leaves
basically
him
just
alone.
doesn't, if he can prevent, if he can help not going on random rampages, he will not fight him for control as long as he is a useful member of pretty much the team and whatnot. And Hulk agreed with it because we've seen it in multiple occasions when one person has too much control, the other one feels like they're in prison. We've seen it with the Hulk, and we've seen it in the Moon Knight series where Mark takes control of the body. I can't even remember what his other subconscious name is, but when Mark finally takes control and is and the other guy is like, "Is this how it feels all the time?" And he's like, "Yeah, but yeah, mate, that's how it feels." And it's like, "I don't like it. I want my body back." So we know another one. I know that when one person has too much control, the other feels like they're trapped in a prison of their own making or the other's making.
Right.
Honestly, just it goes both ways. But the point I was, in a nutshell, trying to make is just they have this like layer of communication while the other one's just on the back seat. Same as Eddie and Venom.
Yeah. So yeah, Venom surprise tosses him off to the side, and then Venom pops out of whatever building he got thrown into, and he's like, "Yes, a fight. Your head will offer us a sizable boost."
my my head not for yum yums.
And they just get into it. I feel like in the beginning, Venom will be able to get some hits off because like obviously Hulk has calmed down. He hasn't started taking the fight seriously yet, so he's not using as much power. And when he
Honestly,
feels the caliber of hits that Venom is putting onto him, the fact that Venom can stretch and outmaneuver him, he starts to get angry. He starts to chase more.
yeah, I can just imagine a point where just Venom just pops out of Eddie and tries to just take over the Hulk, and just he transforms back into just Banner, just trying to calm him down, and just Banner's like, "You idiot, you have to deal with him now," and then just since Banner is fighting for control while under the symbiote's influence, the Hulk can transform out to like kick him out. I feel that's how just Venom just trying to take over, Bruce slash Hulk down
I feel like Venom wants to take control simply because Hulk and Bruce are already two
at
entities
odds.
within one. Yeah, they're already when Hulk reverts back into Banner, Venom realizes that well
We're back.
they are already merged, and it kind of throws him off and because it throws him off, Hulk comes back out and is able to basically rip the symbiote out from him and chuck it away, and it immediately bounces back right towards Eddie, and then the fight continues.
Another thing to keep in mind is just Bruce would have Hulk move the battle away from you or ASAP.
Most likely, because there's already so much devastation. We don't need to cause more. But
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say,
for sure though.
but yeah,
Yeah, let's say for
there's a
conversation,
stage transition.
let's just say for conversation's sake, he takes the fight away from New York, so that way the Avengers don't get involved. So it's just Hulk versus Venom.
Yeah. So there's a
Honestly,
stage
I can see that
transition.
characterization just where Tony's like,
They're somewhere out in the boonies, things around for miles, and they're fighting. I feel like Hulk would be hammering away at Venom, but they're not doing a single thing because he's absorbing the hits, and he gets mad, he roars, and the strength, the frequency of that roar puts Venom to his knees because obviously the sound weak. And
Right.
at first, Hulk doesn't realize, but he sees Venom goes to his knees and he goes back into Thor. Where do we go from there?
Well, once again, it's been about 20 minutes and we haven't heard anything from Goblin.
uh, 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 honestly, yeah, just I also know the specific reason, just why Goblin picked Venom.
Well, I
In
think
3 words, I am the darkness.
I think. Go ahead.
No, because I like the red one, of course. Why else would I pick Venom?
There's also Red
Kidding.
Hulk. So I mean,
Eh,
I know
not as
I know this
impressive.
actually, I think the Red Hulk is a little bit more deadly than the regular Hulk because the Red Hulk basically has fire ability. Like his skin, he can heat up to like 10,000 degrees or whatever.
The Red Hulk feels like a petty father-in-law.
Well, I think going back to Venom and Hulk, I think yes, Hulk would be able to withstand the punches thrown and the attacks thrown by Venom, but I also think Venom would be able to do the same because I feel like he would make the part of his body that Hulk punched, I feel like he would like absorb his hand into his body and like hold him still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Yeah, I
Hulk
get
punched
that.
him in the stomach, whatever, Venom would just like wrap his body around his hand to hold him there, and then get off a few hits himself. And then not just that, but like he has the ability to grow tentacles out of his body to do more damage as well. Like he's not just like Spider-Man where he just slings webs and punches. His body can transform into basically spears, big old symbiotic spears.
Yeah, I feel that.
Goblin, do you have any input on this?
Hmm?
Do you have any input? Like, who would have the upper hand?
Honestly, it feels like a
I
tug of
still say
war.
Venom. You'll never get me to say Hulk because Venom, I just feel like would be stronger.
You just did. But why do you think Venom? Why do you think Venom would win? Like, can't just say that he would win. Like, why do you think that?
He also has weakness to fire.
To a point.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
Bing bong.
Yeah, these
So,
silent stuff are gonna cut out anyway. So
yeah, they
let's
will.
go, let's go,
Yeah.
Goblin. We're waiting for you.
I feel like
I don't know.
What
I'm
do
still
you
trying to piece together why. That's the problem.
What do you think that Venom has that would give him the upper hand over Hulk? Is it the fact that he can transform his body into somewhat weapons? Or is it the fact that he has more mobility?
I think all of it has something to do with it.
More mobility.
Like he's more versatile than Hulk it seems like to me.
Well, that's why I was also saying is Venom can turn his body into weapons because he can literally like just form his arm into like this giant guillotine axe or a big ass hammer or whatever. Like he can just transform his body into whatever he needs at the time, as long as it's not going to hurt Eddie.
He
Go
does
ahead.
have the ability to form weapons, and this actually ties into something else. He can morph his body, right?
Right.
To make it softer, make it harder, make it more dense, make it
That,
even sharper
that's what I
to
was saying.
increase either his defense or his offense. The
let's
question
see.
is how much of a boost, how much of an effect would it have on the Hulk? We've seen him tank missiles and not get hit, not get hurt. We've seen his fight with Iron Man, how much it took for him to even lay a scratch on him.
And,
And at what point does the Hulk get so enraged that everything that Venom throws at him is just not not effective?
Let's
see, that's what
see.
I was going to ask. Is we have examples of Hulk being shot, blown up, whatever. But do we have any examples of Hulk being cut or sliced or chopped or anything like that? Like if
Let's
Venom were
see.
just
The only time I can remember is in Thor Ragnarok when he was fighting Fenrir. We saw when Fenrir was dragging him underwater in the river, he bit into him and it actually made him start bleeding. And we hear him holler under the water, and it made him mad enough that he punched Fenrir in the face and it let go immediately.
right.
Let's see. There was a time
So
that just in
he
a
can be
future.
punctured, he can be cut.
He definitely can. But
So
you obviously need a lot of force.
that's what I was gonna say. Let's say obviously Venom he can make his body sharper than anything known to humankind. So that
Yes.
would give him the upper hand, and I think once
I
Venom
think he
figures
would definitely be able to wound the Hulk with
Oh,
one of those blades that he fashioned.
let's see. I think that just if Hulk manages to bleed, it might be a very terrible thing because his blood has basically got gamma radiation. The moment that gets on just those blades, it'll
It
probably
is.
poison Venom.
That is another thing. His blood in of itself is it's both toxic, and it also has healing properties.
yeah.
But in very specific situations, like if he bleeds if he bleeds over like dying vegetation, it'll instantly start regrowing. But but bleeding on a human organism now, that would be toxic for the human because it's organic matter.
Right. See, I think once Venom figures out that he can physically harm Hulk, I feel like he would put himself in a situation to where he would immobilize Hulk somehow, and then he would just spring a bunch of like tentacles out of his back, make them extremely sharp, and just stab him over and over and over.
I can see that happening.
I guess.
I can see that
Yeah, I
happening.
can
But
see that happening.
would it be enough to take him out?
That's what I'm thinking. Is like, if he's able to immobilize Hulk and he's able to stab him a bunch of times, but he sees that the Hulk is regenerating over time after each stab, do you think that Venom would put that two and two together and he would be like, okay, so he's regenerating, so how about I just stab him through the chest and just leave that tentacle there so he can't regenerate and it weakens him?
Honestly, part of me thinks that just
Because then Venom
Venom
would
would
be
put like
inside of him and he could like spread through Hulk's
uh,
body from the inside out.
That make you're making a lot. You're making a. But my question is my question is I gotta defend my boy here. My question is that 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 piece of venom that he leaves within him, is it a piece that he's just left there to spread, or is he physically in there and leaving a piece with Eddie, keep him protected? That's what I want to
let's see, can I add a point?
know. Go for it.
Let's see, just Venom can accidentally just can accidentally just turn the Hulk into just like give him a symbiote like he did with Carnage, and you already saw what just how just Venom acted on Carnage. Oh shit, that's a red one. Imagine just seeing that just like A, the Hulk having a symbiote, but B, just seeing just that he stabbed the motherfucker a bunch of times while immobilized and seeing him heal. I think Venom's smart enough to like turn around after that. Like, have a good day, sir.
I I think I think Venom could figure out a way to immobilize Hulk. But I also think Hulk that would just piss him off, like extremely. Like
Yeah,
being one
a
of the
buff.
strongest beings in the galaxy, and he's being held still. That would piss him
Yeah,
the fuck off.
it's definitely gonna get him up. But my question is
That's definitely
that
gonna
piece
get
of
Venom Genkai
that piece of
boost.
the venom that he obviously leaves a piece of his symbiotic body within the Hulk. My question is it a sentient piece that he's controlling? What's stopping Hulk from
No,
bonding with it and using
no.
it to his own
So
advantage?
anytime that a
That's a
piece
real possibility running this fight, my dude.
that's not I don't think that's possible because anytime that a piece of venom breaks off and basically is out on its own,
It makes it back to him, right?
it either
Way
a
back to him.
it either a makes its way back to Venom, it finds its way back to its main host, or B, it finds its a new host and becomes its own thing because that is how Carnage became a thing.
Yeah,
Exactly. So what's
Because
gonna stop?
Carnage and Venom used to be one symbiotic mass, and something happened and it split them
Yeah.
apart, and
When
Carnage
Eddie
went red.
when when Cassidy Casey Cassidy Cletus when Cletus
No. This was
Cassidy
before that.
bit Eddie.
No, this was before all
no,
that. So
okay, but
The way Venom ended up on Earth was he was put into a capsule and shot into space, and they just landed on Earth. The same thing happened to Carnage, but something happened and he veered off course.
Oh,
was gonna
So
tell him.
they were part of the same symbiotic mass, and something I can't remember exactly what happened, but something happened and it split them, and then they were sent off into the galaxy to take over a new world. Basically, Carnage hit something or whatever, it veered off course. Venom hit Earth, and that's how that basically happened. So if any part of Venom gets cut off of him, it'll either go back to Venom, and if it can't make it back to Venom, it'll try and find a new host, and if it can find a new host, it'll become its own symbiotic thing.
so you're saying there's a chance
There's a chance that it would be
in the middle of this fight?
there's a chance that it would try to overtake Hulk and become its own entity.
That's just gonna cause a whole lot of problems for Venom. But so for the sake of add that as a factor, let's just say Hulk being immobilized and impaled multiple times, it pisses him off, and he's obviously getting upset. His power is growing. He lets out a shriek or a roar. he lets out a roar for the second time this fight that once again immobilizes Venom, and that's when he puts it together that sound helps against this enemy. So when Venom starts forming around Eddie again, Hulk obviously can move Eddie. Venom has already retreated into Eddie. Eddie falls to his knees, and Venom is trying to get back out. Fight can continue, and the Hulk just thunderclaps right in front of him. Boom! Another loud burst of sound, which immobilizes him even more. I
Right.
think that's gonna be the deciding factor because now Eddie is completely exposed for who knows how long. Hulk can just manhandle his human body, basically.
That's true. Uh, the second thing to throw into consideration would be if Venom was able to break off a piece of himself inside of Hulk, would Hulk's regeneration ability be able to fight that quote unquote infection and repel it from his body? Or do you think the symbiotic entity would be able to more or less dissolve itself into his bloodstream and make it through his body before it could be expelled?
I don't think it's a matter of if it will be able because I feel like
Honestly,
it'll definitely be able to work against the symbiote, but how long would it take for it to expel it?
this
Right.
entire encounter is just ah, it just feels like a matter of an endurance battle, which I feel like the Hulk is more
That
equipped to like handle.
that was the other question I was going to ask like 10 minutes ago or so. It was this basically breaks down to Hulk has damn near unlimited strength, and Venom damn near has unlimited stamina. So it really breaks down to who gets tired first, you know?
It
Because unlimited strength could technically translate into a source of unlimited stamina.
yeah, unlimited power.
So the real question
I
just kind
think
of
that
breaks down to who gets tired first and who's able to take advantage of that.
I think
Let's
no
see,
matter
the Hulk
which
has
way
survived all the way to the apocalypse in a lot of comic runs.
Yeah,
yeah,
say
it's
Hulk doesn't give
I
up.
don't think yeah, even I don't think he gets tired. I fed up most likely sometimes and just decide, yeah, I'm not fighting this anymore. We've seen it on multiple occasions, but like I feel like at the end of the day, if the fight goes on, if it goes on for too long, it'll get to a point where he's so mad, he's so upset, his power is gonna skyrocket too high for Venom to handle, and that would be the moment. It all goes downhill for Venom.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Venom would either have to end it quick or just lose.
yeah, exactly. Tell me, Mario. Kenny, what the frick? You're supposed to
I
be her ADHD regulation.
I'm trying to think of more questions to base this off of because we more or less covered majority of everything. Um,
Well, let's see if Venom can split off, he can just make a bunch of just
yeah,
minions to just
that's
try
another
to
question.
overwhelm.
Is Venom able to
Is
split
it even
himself?
possible for him? I don't think it's possible to split in the process for the purpose of making other versions of himself, like clones or anything.
Right, but if he was able to, do you think it would split his strength and stuff every time?
I, f- I feel
Highly
like it
likely.
because he's splitting his symbiotics.
But
It's not like he's using power to create a duplicate like
okay, but
how
that's another thing though.
It's
Is like,
basically like the Shadow
so
Clone
let's
suits.
say
It's the reason why they go down in like a one hit or some shit.
that's the other thought was, let's say Venom can split off and make basically clones himself, and it does split his strength down every time he makes a clone. But if you think about it that way, if he splits off into two clones and each one of them has half the strength that he originally had, and they were both able to get on top of Hulk, that would basically be one big Venom split into two, right? Like, think about it that way.
Yeah, but when you
Yeah.
put it like he can target one, get it off of him first, and then it's essentially just as easy for him to get the second one off. So if he targets them individually,
It,
he's essentially fighting weaker version of the enemy he was fighting before. So for
Yeah,
example,
because
yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of his
if I
power
get
would have been
dog,
spent for nothing.
so it's like you're fighting your father, right? Your father splits into two versions of himself. Both versions are the age of you as you now. It's a lot easier fight when you try to focus on one of them, take that one out, and now it's just the second, essentially weaker one. You're fighting
Yeah,
that one now. You are fight it,
and
so
if you
you're
take
gonna
that into more than two versions, just it's like fighting a bunch of first graders.
yeah. And each
Like it's
time he
not
splits,
fair.
it essentially takes. I don't think he's gonna stand a chance.
Yeah, in the specific scenario, just starting point where just the Hulk is already in Hulk form, and just Eddie just gets a surprise shot off. Just it's already like a disadvantage of the start enough, specifically because he's already in his Hulk form. And even if he was his banner, just again, just he switched fast enough to like beat the threat.
so we're all in agreement that Venom would be a winner? Or are you guys still on Hulk's side?
I'm on Hulk
I'm
still.
still on Hulk. I'm still on Hulk. I don't know
All right, so
Venom.
You and
you
Human.
guys explain how Hulk would be a winner, because we basically just been going through explaining how Venom would counter everything and been putting
Let's
some
see.
pretty good points out there.
Yeah, I feel like no
Let's see.
matter what happens
These are all good points, but the one
to
point
the
that sort of
fact
trumps
that
the Venom points is that Venom would get tired. Venom would grow hungry. Venom would get weakened over time, and Hulk can just keep
That's
exactly.
the battle
true,
going for as long as he
but
wants.
but if Venom does get hungry and needs to go replenish, he could just figure out how to immobilize Hulk for a few seconds for him to get away and go find something.
And that would also break Eddie has put in process for Venom eat humans, and we've seen that even if it's a bad human, they don't human. He would obviously let him eat another symbiote, as we've seen him eat Riot, and we've seen him Carnage,
Right.
because there is a literal, because no matter how you slice it, and Eddie are still good guys. And that's the thing. Hulk doesn't even know Venom is a good guy. Venom doesn't know Hulk is.
Right.
There's
I
also
don't
the
think
fact that
he's
just
gonna. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think they're gonna look for someone to bite their head off so they can replenish or anything. And and just how much chocolate is he gonna need to replenish all that strength? Like seriously. So I think that no matter how you slice it, he is gonna eventually be overwhelmed by Hulk, simply
yeah.
because he's
Plus,
gonna
plus
get angrier
there's the fact that just
and keep
the
getting
Hulk will
stronger.
probably go on a just let's see, a frenzy, just trying to get back, trying to finish the fight. Like I could see him just I could see the Hulk just not stopping the hunt, so to speak.
Goblin, why do you think Venom wins?
Uh, honestly, I just think that he can counter most of what Hulk can do. He can just, I don't know. That's the only conclusion I can come to. He's very no work.
So we're still split. Two
Yeah,
for
we're
two.
still split.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other input?
I think I've said as much as I could. It being I don't mind the points being a draw, and we have the comments.
Right.
We have the comments debate about it.
Right. See, I don't.
That's a good call right here.
We're both standing firm on our points, and that's how a good debate should be. We both come up with points. It's not essentially about swaying the other person or proving you're right. It's about giving your reasons why, them giving their reasons why, and we move on. Everyone sticks to their character regardless.
Everyone gives their
Yeah,
opinions.
Yeah,
I'm standing on business with the Hulk, with my vote.
same.
Let's let the comments just eat each other alive over this.
All right, gamers, geeks,
Right?
and goblins. So you've heard it here. Myself and Goblin are for Venom. Jakeem and Cryptic are for Hulk. You guys let us know who you think would win and why down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Share this with all your
Subscribe, alright,
friends.
on your toes.
Share this with all your friends. And get the word out there. Let's see who wins, Venom or Hulk. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace.